Rahul Gandhi was born on 19 June 1970 in New Delhi into the most influential political family in India. He opened his eyes to a world that was constantly watched, constantly guarded, constantly expected to lead. His great grandfather Jawaharlal Nehru was India's first Prime Minister. His grandmother Indira Gandhi was the first women Prime Minister of India. His father Rajiv Gandhi would later become India's youngest Prime Minister. From the beginning, Rahul's life was surrounded by history, power, and responsibility. But behind the glamour of politics lay the quiet, having truth. He was a child who would face more pain than privilege. He grew up in the Prime Minister's house, the corridors filled with ministers, diplomats, and security personnel. Yet, despite the noise, Rahul was a shy and soft spoken boy. He loved spending time with his sister Priyanka. Together, they learned early that their life would never be ordinary. In childhood, he studied at St. Columbia's School and later at the Doon School in Dehradun. He tried to live like any other child, but security guards always followed him. No place was simple, no moment was free. Safety was the first invisible wall around him. In 1984, tragedy struck, a tragedy that shook the entire nation. His grandmother Indira Gandhi was assassinated by her own bodyguard. The news was a storm. India cried, the world watched. But for Rahul, it was not politics. It was the loss of grandmother he loved deeply. He was just 14. He saw crowds, wailing soldiers everywhere, flames of sorrow rising, but inside he felt only numbness. Life changed overnight. The family was suddenly moved under extreme security. Rahul and Priyanka could not travel freely. They could not walk into markets or visit friends casually. Every outing became a mission. Every movement was planned. Slowly he tried to settle back into life, but destiny had more pain awaiting him. In 1991, while campaigning, his father Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. The news came like lightning. A sudden strike, a second loss, two assassinations in one lifetime. Rahul was just 21. He lost not only his father but the last connection to a normal family life. The Gandhi family was silent. Their home, once full of visitors, became quieter. Security surrounded them like a wall. Rahul withdrew emotionally, trying to understand why violence seemed to follow his family. He continued his education, briefly attending St. Stephen's College, Delhi, but security concerns forced him to move abroad. He joined Harvard University, but again, safety concerns interrupted his studies. He transferred to Rollins College in Florida under a different identity, Rahul Vinci. To remain safe, for the first time, he tried to live like an ordinary student. He walked to class, sat in cafe, studied without constant flashes of cameras. He breathed differently. Life felt simple, but even there he carried the weight of expectations. After graduating, he pursued an MPhil in development studies at Cambridge University. There he developed a deeper understanding of society, inequality, and development. When he returned to India, many assumed he would jump into politics, but he surprised everyone. He began working in the corporate world. He joined the Monitor Group in London. Later, he started a Mumbai-based consulting company, Backops Services. He tried creating his identity outside politics as a professional, but fate had other plans. In 2004, he finally stepped into politics. He contested Lok Sabha elections from Amethi, Uttar Pradesh. The constituency had been represented by members of his family for decades. People welcomed him warmly. He won by a large margin. Rahul Gandhi entered parliament. His journey as a public leader had begun. He started walking quietly, away from dramatic speeches, away from loud publicity. He visited villages, met farmers, talked to youth, listened to ordinary people. He wanted to understand India at its roots. In 2007, he became the General Secretary of the Congress Party. He focused on strengthening the Youth Congress and the NSUI. He introduced international elections, helping young people rise through merit rather than influence. It was new, it was bold. Thousands of young Indians were inspired. In 2009, Congress performed very well in the general elections. They won 206 seats, their best result since 1991. Many credited Rahul's youth-focused approach. He appeared to be the next big leader. But politics has a way of turning suddenly. In 2014, the Congress party suffered its biggest defeat. They won only 44 seats. The BJP, led by Narendra Modi, rose to power with a massive majority. Rahul faced harsh criticism. The media mocked him, opponents mocked him, people doubted his leadership. It was the hardest moment of his political career, but he did not give up. He stepped back, observed, and reflected. He traveled across the country more quietly. He spoke about farmers in unemployment, women's rights, and national unity. In 2017, he became the president of the Congress party. Many young Indians saw him as a voice for new ideas. In 2018, Congress won three major states: Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh. It was a comeback, a small spark of revival, but in 2019, once again, Congress lost the national election. Rahul himself lost Amethi, though he won from Wayanad, Kerala. He accepted responsibility and resigned as Congress president. It was a humble step, a difficult decision, but he continued fighting for what he believed was right. Rahul Gandhi continued to grow as a public figure, and slowly his journey moved through many emotional stages, challenges, and responsibilities, and each moment shaped his identity, his purpose, and his voice. As he stepped forward, he tried to balance the weight of history with the personal desire to make change. This balance was never easy because expectations were always high, pressure was always high, always present, and criticism was a constant companion. But Rahul Gandhi kept walking, kept learning, kept listening, and kept evolving. His journey continued not just as a politician but as a citizen, as a thinker, and as a traveler across India. This phase opened a new chapter filled with discovery, reflection, and growth. He traveled across remote villages, dusty roads, mountain paths, green farms, and crowded towns. Everywhere he listened to the voices of ordinary people: farmers, students, women, laborers, shopkeepers, and artisans. Their stories touched him deeply because they were stories of struggle, fear, hope, dreams, and dignity. These stories reminded him that India was not just about speeches and politics but about human hearts and daily battles fought silently. This connection made him realize that leadership is not about commanding but about understanding. It is not about showing power but about sharing pain. Rahul Gandhi began speaking more openly, more emotionally, and more honestly. He brought attention to unemployment, rural distress, women's struggle, and inequalities. Even though many critics mocked him, doubted him, and questioned him, he continued. He believed that silence would be more harmful than criticism. His speeches often carried a sense of care, urgency, and sincerity. Even when words trembled, his intentions remained firm. Slowly, he began connecting with younger audiences who saw him less as a traditional leader and more as a relatable figure. He spoke not from a throne but from the ground. There was election, victories, losses, and dramatic twists. Each elections came with emotional waves, high hopes, sharp attacks, and sleepless night. When Congress lost badly in 2014, the defeat hit deeply. People expected more, opponents celebrated, headlines mocked him, memes spread, anchors shouted, many blamed him. Yet he stood quietly, accepted the verdict, observed the criticism, and continued his journey. He believed that politics is a marathon, not a sprint. Growth comes not from comfort but from struggle. After the defeat, he stepped deeper into social battle. He visited more villages and spoke with distressed communities. He challenged politics he felt were hurting farmers, youth, and small businesses. He raised questions on unemployment, failing incomes, and the weakening of institutions. Although his opponents continued to ridicule him, he refused to stop. He felt his responsibility was not to protect his image but to raise concerns that others were afraid to speak. As time passed, Rahul Gandhi found himself changing from within. He became calmer, more reflective, and more aware. He began expressing his visions more clearly, focusing on compassion, equality, justice, and unity. He warned about divisions growing in society and about the danger of hatred. A new image began to form, not of a prince born into privilege, but of a traveler walking alongside his people. This transformation became visible when he launched the Bharat Jodo Yatra, a long walk from the south to north across busy cities, quiet fields, forests, deserts, and snowy paths. During this yatra, he met thousands, hugged children, talked to women, listened to farmers, sat with workers, and walked with strangers. Step by step, he rediscovered India and perhaps he rediscovered himself. The journey was long, exhausting, emotional, and spiritual. Though heat, rain, and cold, he kept walking. He believed that India needed healing. Healings come not from speeches but from presence. As he walked, he spoke less and listened more. Slowly, people's perceptions began changing. They saw not a distant leader but a human being. Walking without hesitations, without fear, without comfort, the journey brought him closer to ordinary life's struggles and dreams. He continued to speak for justice, fairness, and unity even when facing strong oppositions, legal challenges, and political attacks. He stood firm. He believed that the truth required courage and courage required sacrifice. He learned that leadership is not about winning election alone but about standing by principles. Even when it is difficult, even when the world stands against you. His journey continues evolving, expanding, and learning. Rahul Gandhi remains a figure who is loved by many, criticized by many, yet he continues walking his pain, guided by his experiences, pain, compassion, and belief that India's strength lies not in fear but in unity, not in hate but in love. Though every setback and every lessons, his journey teaches that leadership is not defined by power but by purpose. Rahul Gandhi continued his journey with quiet determination, knowing that leadership is never a straight path. Every setback became a lesson, and every criticism became a chance to reflect. He understood that politics is not only about winning votes, but about touching lives, connecting hearts, and building trust. Even in moments of loneliness, he found strength in the belief that he was carrying a legacy of service, sacrifice, and vision. He spent long hours reading, thinking, and planning, learning not only from books but from the people he met, the struggles he witnessed, and the dreams he encountered. Slowly, he built a voice that was uniquely his own, a voice that combined compassion, honesty, and the courage to challenge injustice. He became more comfortable speaking to large crowds, yet he never lost the humility that had defined his personal journey. He traveled far and wide, from the remotest villages to the largest cities, listening to problems, ideas, and hopes. Every conversation reminded him why he had entered politics: to serve, to heal, and to unite. When the Bharat Jodo Yatra began, people were skeptical. Many doubted whether Rahul could walk across thousands of kilometers, facing heart, rain, fatigue, and political oppositions. But he kept walking. Step by step, day by day, he connected with people in ways that social media and his speeches could never achieve. He listened to farmers talk about death, drought, and hope. He sat with women who described challenges at home and in society. He laughed with children, inspiring them to dream bigger. He comforted the elderly, promising that their concerns would not be forgotten. Though every village and every town, he became a living symbol of persistence, empathy, and connection. The yatra was physically exhausting, emotionally draining, yet spiritually uplifting. People began to see him not as a distant politician but as a human being willing to walk alongside them. Critics still questioned him, opponents still mocked him, but his resolve never wavered. He understood that leadership is built not in moments of applause but in moments of persistence and integrity. Even after losing Amethi in 2019, he did not withdraw. He accepted responsibility and continued fight for policies that mattered. He won the Wayanad constituency in Kerala, showing that the people still had faith in his vision and his commitment. Rahul Gandhi embraced criticism as a teacher, failure as a guide, and public scrutiny as a mirror to improve. Though all changes, he mentioned his calm dignity and humanity. He spoke against social divisions, hatred, and inequality, constantly reminding India that unity and peace were stronger than fear and anger. He encouraged youth to participate in democracy, to fight for rights, and to contribute to the nation with honesty and courage. He often said, changes does not happen overnight, but it happens if we walk together step by step. Rahul Gandhi became a figure who symbolized resilience, courage, and the enduring spirit of India's democracy. His story was no longer just about a political dynasty. It was about a journey from grief to strength, from fear to courage, from doubt to hope. He showed that leadership is not measured by titles, wealth, or power, but by commitment, compassion, and the ability to touch lives. Rahul Gandhi continued to travel, speak, and walk, believing that India's greatest strength lay in its people, in their resilience, and in their unity. The victories defeats criticism and allocates. He walked on, ever committed to serving the nation, never losing sight of his purpose, his values, and the dreams of millions who looked up to him for hope. So guys, how was the video? If you really watched the video till the end, then please give your opinion in the comment box, and it really helps me a lot to know about my video, that my video is really helps you or not, and I will improve myself gradually and make video day by day better than today. Okay, so do not hesitate to watch my video and hit the like button and subscribe button of my channel, and yeah, stay connected to my channel for future updates. Okay, bye bye.